You don't care, that's why.
Huh? All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to...
This is Pierre.
That's it. We got distracted.
That's the...
Sacre bleu.
Dang it. All right. Well, that was going to be what I was going to be thankful for.
A new medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei
You're gonna never come back. You know, all that stupid shit.
and Uncle Erik.
If I could retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Everyone knows you're high.
This episode is brought to you by Mills Nutrients.
Friendship joint.
Ooh, I love friendship joints. I love rolling joints and friendship. I love friendship.
I love smoking joints. What else? Go for it.
I don't really like smoking them, but I love rolling them. You know, one thing I also don't like is growing weed because it seems so cumbersome and difficult. Knowing what kind of nutrients and products to use, it can become cumbersome, like I said.
Cumbersome is the word for this commercial.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is some fire weed. Who grew this?
Yours truly.
Thought bubble.
Well, you can. If you come
You
by
can hear
our
my thoughts?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know that, man. If you come by our shop, we can help you out. Mills pays the bills, man. That's all you need to know.
What shop?
Guru's Grow Supply.
Where?
It's in Pearl City.
Ooh.
Majestic Pearl City.
Another one of my favorite things. Pearl City. How long has Mills been providing these high quality nutrients for?
Premium nutrients for 30 years. I've been cracking at it for about 13, so yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because if you didn't know, he's only 14 years old.
Because I was one.
But cool. So I'm gonna roll this friendship joint to celebrate our friendship. I love friendship. And to celebrate our love for millsnutrients.com.
Definitely do it. Millsnutrients.com. Check them out. Mills pays the bills.
Can we do something? 1, 2, 3. Mills pays the bills. Start the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Grow Guru and myself, Uncle Erik. This week, joining us, Sheri, across the table from us. Welcome.
Hi.
Sorry, maybe you, never mind. I won't bring it back up. And our production crew behind the table, producers extraordinaire, Turtle Doves.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, different type bird this time.
Okay, yeah, you get COVID or something, bro. What's going on over there? What's with that?
He's like a puffin today.
Is that the sound a puffin makes?
I don't fucking know, dude.
Cool.
Cool.
And Mr. Butt Naked.
Zaza.
Zaza.
All right, cool. Zaza.
We're going with it.
Oh,
We're having fun. It's fine, right? We're having a good time. Yeah, everybody having a good time. You guys having fun back there?
Absolutely. Every time it's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for joining us today, Shari.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Yeah.
being willing to come on, the podcast and share
Yeah.
your story.
Ha 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 ha. Pun intended.
It was actually. That's why I paused. I had to think about it. But anyway, yeah, thanks to everybody joining us on live. If you're wondering why the guru's upside down, because he fucked around and he found out what happened. And you end up upside down.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Wait, I heard this joke the other day.
Okay.
It's been bugging me. What happens when the bomb rolled into the cheese factory?
What?
There's a lot of debris. Cool, I
That's a
delivered that
good
good,
one.
guys.
Great one.
That's
Let's
a
go
good
around.
one.
Everybody
Hey.
else tell a joke.
Blue.
I actually have a good one.
Okay.
My
Oh,
friend told
snap.
me one earlier today. What's the difference between a Zippo and an elephant?
Zippo and an elephant, like a lighter?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shit.
One's really heavy and one's a little lighter. I told him it was the perfect dad stoner joke. I was like, that is awesome.
That is a good
That's
one.
exactly the one right there.
Kapow! Dude, you gotta slap some like Batman fucking.
Wow.
Can I get that drum pad, yo? I can do the sound
Nope.
effects.
Nope. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
If you want sound effects,
Yeah, I told him that. We were laughing for like 5 minutes.
That's a,
if you want sound effects, you got to edit them in yourself.
Okay, come on, somebody else.
Oh, there's supposed to be a ding there. But anyway, how do you make a Kleenex dance? Put a little boogie in it.
Oh.
That's a good one.
How come
How
Ghost?
come mine didn't get as good a reaction as your guys on shit? Did you guys
Could've
hear that
topped that
before?
last one.
You guys
Yeah.
heard that one, right?
Yeah.
I did. How come ghosts can't have babies?
Why?
Because they have Halloweenies. I got a chuckle. Tough crowd.
No.
You guys should try Kill
Comedy
Tony.
high,
Just
bro.
do it. Go on, Kill
No
Tony.
fucking ways, bruh. It's so scary. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up?
Dude, okay, so we went to a comedy show the other night, and it was like people I didn't know, but like, it was, those guys were good, and I was like, this takes so much fucking balls.
Oh, yeah.
This one lady went on, and she was talking about like, and like, I don't think it, I think the joke's delivery and how crude and impactful the joke was made it super funny. But then she's like, yeah, some days I kind of want to live it up. You know, I'm from Texas, but I live in Santa Monica, and I like to put on my big puffy coat. So as I'm walking, these two bitches tell me, yeah, like it's so cold you need a coat on. And then she said, bitch, you know I have cancer? It's like, I wanted to say that, but I didn't. And I fucking started laughing so hard just because, like, it's such a shockful question, a shockful, like, punchline, and I fucking died, dude. I think I was the only one laughing in the crowd. But whatever. Fuck these people. I don't care.
Maybe we had to be there.
Oh, dude, it's fucking so funny. But yeah, this other guy, Uncle Razor, was there. He's like a
Uncle Laser.
laser.
He was there?
Yeah,
You saw
dude.
him live?
Yeah.
Where?
Was that Juan Bryan's?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
shit.
like headlining. Yeah, I saw that.
It
thing,
was
yeah.
pretty fucking funny, man.
Are you
Like,
into
made through
stand-up
Kill Tony.
comedy at all? Or is this boring you?
A 50-50. I catch
Oh.
clips of it every
Yeah,
now
yeah.
and again, but I don't watch a lot of TV in general.
Mm,
That's good, actually.
yeah, good on
I
you.
feel like I'm too busy. Like, my kids have so much more energy than me that 90% of the time I'm chasing them.
Mhm.
Right,
And I
right.
don't have time to sit still.
Ooh.
You know?
Do you have the TV on when you're like watching your kids at home?
Only like sometimes. Usually it's background noise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and shit. Like you just hear Bluey.
Shit's in the
Yeah.
background, just elevator
Shit, we're gonna get
music.
flagged
A little
copyright stuff. You
bit.
can't sing that song. No, just kidding.
Right.
Can you hum it and
Right.
not get flagged?
Like 21 seconds of it, maybe only.
Oh, that was like
Jesus,
God.
this is
We're good, yeah.
ridiculous.
Nah, I'm just
dude.
kidding. I don't know what the rules are.
That would be crazy.
If you hum it horribly, you can get away with it because it won't pick up in the algorithm. They won't know you're
Okay.
actually using this.
That's funny.
Just do a bad job of doing it.
Yeah, I don't know how you're so clued up with this algorithm shit. Like,
Wow, I watch a lot of YouTube.
yeah, you do.
I wouldn't retain any of it because it all changes so fast.
Mhm.
It's so hard to keep up with. Like,
One of the rules is no cursing within like the first 10 minutes. If you do, you get like
wow.
it just
We're fucking out.
not deranks you, but like it doesn't like recommend it as frequently.
Interesting.
And all of our stuff has a lot of swearing and the fact that we're smoking. So I don't know why I'm talking about this. Anyways,
I had a way to sum it up in the first 10 minutes.
I don't know. I'm oversharing all that information, but yeah, we have a swear word in our intro in like the first 15 seconds.
It
so
happens.
yeah, it's fun. We have fun on this podcast.
One of my kids' first words was shit, so it happens.
Do you let your kids swear, or do you try to regulate their curse
In
word usage?
context and never with bad energy. So like if you drop your Legos and that stuff falls apart, I get it.
Like oh shit, or like
I've heard it. God
good
damn it.
guideline.
Yeah.
Like shit is more so reserved for when they hurt themselves. I've noticed.
I like how you categorize what word to use in the situations. Like,
It's just
well, it's by
observation.
learning, and
It's-
it's by learning who does it, and like
And they use it in context too, you know, like when something like happens in that feeling, it evokes like, oh shit.
yeah,
Then
and
they
like
feel that
I'll
too.
admit it when I get hurt, I go oh shit, so I know they learn it from me.
Right.
You know,
How do you remedy that?
We're What's the
trying to get
problem?
them not to say it.
Oh yeah.
Or-
I mean, yeah. How do you get over that? Because you're just constantly taking in.
it's a
the
generational
I don't-
thing. Like, my parents
I don't know how to
swore,
answer that
so,
question.
like,
Yeah.
naturally it fucking comes out.
I just think you'd have a tough time in school, you know.
No, dude.
Just rip them.
Nah, I feel like kids learn the places they can and can't get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not want them to get away with it in front of you, but obviously they're allowed to, so they will. But
Okay.
when they know they can't in school, they won't.
They're gonna code switch. If they're with their friends, they're gonna say whatever the heck they want.
I like how you said
know?
that cold switch.
That's
That's a-
literally what it is.
That's like a new term, though. Like,
you know.
Is it really?
yeah, like code switching.
From 0 to 1 to 1 to
You know what that
0.
means?
Like,
So-
knew it was today.
Okay, so explain to him what code switching was code switching mean?
Think about it like if you worked a professional office job. As soon as you walk through those doors, your energy shifts. You're not gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, motherfucker?" You're gonna walk in and you're gonna use the appropriate, terms, questions, body language.
Your direction as a human being doesn't shift also, right?
Sometimes it does.
I mean, sometimes if
Yeah?
you don't feel safe in that environment.
I agree, and I know exactly 100% what you're talking about because I lived that for like decades or a decade. maybe,
hospitality
in the
industry.
hospitality when I worked
Yeah.
in a corporate office. Same, it's exactly what you described.
Yeah.
Like you don't, there's like a work you and a non-work you.
Yeah.
And even I used to go down and like take smoke breaks and shit like that. Like I would like feel more like myself, like.
Well, yeah,
finally a
because the
little
mask
respite.
goes down. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
stepping outside of the workspace with other people who are also a little bit stressed out from the workspace. And the energy has just changed. So you've now like let go of some of that code and you've created your own.
Yeah, it's like.
Like
yeah,
we're in this
totally.
together at the smoke pit.
And then I would walk into our IT department office because those motherfuckers were cool. And then I could be like, "What's up, motherfuckers?"
Yeah. But
And
that's
just
another
purge
example
it
of
out.
code switching, you
and
know?
other things. Yeah. But it's
That's
like
crazy.
there was
Group
like
to
a
group,
safe
person to
space
person.
within this corporate entity. You know what I mean?
I don't think I code switch. I think I kind of acclimate. Like,
I mean, that's a little bit. I mean, yeah. I don't know what
I would
exactly
say-
that is, but
I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to preface this with both my kids are special needs. And so I've had to look at things from trying to break them down to their simplest everything. I think everybody code switches, but it's out of our respect for people and how vulnerable we feel like we can be with them. Trying to think of a good example. You two, if you went out anywhere in public in an outing, you're going to be able to look at each other and know what the other person's thinking, maybe more than if you went out with
what do you
someone.
think's going on between us?
Nothing. You
Nah,
just talked.
he wants to massage me.
Maybe.
What the heck?
Maybe your
We
eyes
should
tell him that. Maybe they don't. I don't know. You know.
We should sit on opposite sides of the table so we can like.
Go on.
But like the energy would be different than if it was someone you only met once. So like
totally.
there's a code between I think every person almost and even groups of people. Like you're gonna treat your kids differently than you would treat your neighbor's kids.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Because
not.
you go, it's not my time to teach them their lessons. Go home. You know.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I kind of like the fact that I think most of the kids on my street like don't think like they don't like me. They're like, "Oh, your dad's fucking like mean," or he's like just rude to us. It's like, good, stay away, beat it,
I like that.
go play, you guys. Like,
Yeah.
not trying to be cool. And I don't want to hang out with these kids.
Yeah. I feel that too.
I mean, it's cool to a certain extent. Like the kids we have in my daughter's age, they're kind of on the older side. So like,
Okay.
I'm actually having conversations with these fucking kids, and like they're firing questions at me. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what did I get myself into? I'll see you guys later. Close the door. I'm out.
Yeah.
What's that? Run away.
Yoink! And just
Right.
dip.
How old are your kids?
So little guy just turned 6 end of February,
Nice.
and then big guy turns 9 end of June.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not ready. I'm like, where did time go? It doesn't feel real at all. But they've kept me on my toes so much. Both of them were pretty much completely nonverbal until 3. So you have to learn their codes. And it's funny because like I realized after having the second, like I was so on par with my first kid and we were just vibing, that like number 2 was like, oh God, it's not the same. Because each person has different energy,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So the things that worked with number 1 did not work with number 2 at all. And it was just really interesting. I don't know.
I don't know how to ask this question in like the PC way, but like, what are their like special need? What are their, I don't know.
You're
I want
doing
to say
good. You're doing
categories,
super
or
good.
I don't know what the word to use is.
So they
Sorry.
both have autism and ADHD.
Okay.
Very good.
It's so different in both of them that it is insane to try and keep up with.
And that's why it's a spectrum, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no doubt. And then how it affects them too, like in how they view the world and interact with the world is so different. So as a parent, it's like I have to be so open-minded and realize that so many things are not gonna be, we know the answer. It's we're gonna look this up together, you know, which I feel like is a privilege and a curse at the same time
Right.
sometimes.
9 and 6.
Yeah.
I want to say that's a good age, but like all ages are good ages. They all have their cool like things about the different ages. And
Yeah, I
my
never
two-
got that. Like, oh yeah, this age is a horrible age, like terrible 2s, and I never really experienced that. I was like, no, it got bad at sometimes, but it was pretty cool for a 2-year-old. You know, 3 was just no different. Hell yeah.
I won't lie, it was rough for me when they were little.
Yeah.
It was rough, especially when neither of them were talking. Having 2 tiny creatures that don't talk while you're sick yourself is really difficult. And then other people come in who are trying to help, but they don't know your kid at all.
Right.
So they're actually making it worse.
Right, because they're trying to apply what they know from other things to something that's completely different.
Or because your kid's nonverbal, they have to really learn to read every facial cue, every pattern, and just really learn your kid and almost anticipate their needs, which is very difficult. Any parent can say that it's difficult to anticipate your kid's needs, I
Right.
feel like.
How
So-
old were they when you found out, or did you like?
It was during COVID, which was, I feel like, a clusterfuck.
Well, I mean that's.
Because everything was tele. Like, everything was through the computer.
Oh shit! Damn.
So my little guy got diagnosed with ADHD because he just wasn't speaking. He would know what you were saying. You could have a whole conversation and he'd know, but he wouldn't say anything. And so that's called mixed receptive language disorder, where you can like take it in, but you can't regurgitate it. And so we tried doing speech therapy through a computer, which anyone who has a kid who has ADHD, to get them to look at a computer and talk to someone for an hour, it's not
No
going to
can.
happen.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of like sitting with her and learning about ADHD and autism and, oh, hey, you're not going to be able to get into the doctor because it's COVID. Google this, this, and this. I think the strategies they use for those things might help your kid, but I can't diagnose your kid.
Wow.
That was probably
because it was tele appointments and not in person.
that, and different specialties can just diagnose different things.
Right. Right.
So like my speech therapist couldn't say my kid had a big posture problem, but she could recommend getting an evaluation through physical therapy. So that means a whole nother doctor,
Right.
a whole nother appointment,
Yes.
which,
Kind of like in circles, right?
yeah, that's what it really felt like. And during COVID, at least, it felt a lot more like
Yeah.
circles.
I mean, and that just compounded all sorts of
Yeah.
It kinda
already like difficult institutions to navigate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But once he started seeing people in person, it changed so much. Just having the consistency. I think of another human being who was just playing with them, and the goal was for my kid to be in control was pretty phenomenal, I think. I think any kid enjoys that, but like knowing it was geared towards getting him more functional in life
Right.
was so helpful.
Right. Right.
Like, so helpful. And then his brother was diagnosed want to say a few years later, they had a joint appointment kind of over at Tripler, and he's like, yeah, 100% you're right, it's autism. And we were like, well, we already knew that.
Oh, shit.
Just because of how he was acting and what we knew with brother. And then they both started speech therapy, which has been pretty life-changing. That got us into occupational therapy.
Okay.
And then little guy goes to physical therapy too. So it's a lot.
Ooh, that's a full plate.
Yeah.
You know.
And so, are they both speaking now?
We're getting there. We're
Okay.
getting there. Little man has really surprised everybody in his life lately. He started like creating new sentences
Cool.
from himself. It's kind of hard to describe, but there's different ways of learning language, and he learns through scripting, so like chunks of language. It's called Gestalt language.
Okay.
So he would recite like a 2-minute monologue from his favorite movie, trying to tell me that he was pissed off I took a toy.
Huh.
And the monologue ended in something like Shrek screaming to show the anger.
I get it.
Roar.
I kind of get it.
Roar, bro.
It's
like
crazy.
Yeah.
You got to pick up on that though. Like, so you got to be like multilingual when it comes down to like everything, right? Your kids especially.
And then you got to watch what you're introducing them to, because if you let them watch an episode of Bluey without you,
They might pick up some shit that you
and
don't
they
want
pick
them
up a
to.
sentence, the magic wand episode got me.
I didn't.
But it's like
I'm
the
just
kids
getting
get
into
the
Bluey.
magic wand and they control the parents. Like, I like that game, but wanting that to be the only game 24/7, like, can we pick something else?
It's not
You know?
happening.
Like, oh, right? Yeah, exactly.
I did see the hotel episode where their dad was like trying to take a nap and they wanted to play like hotel and shit, and they kept fucking bothering him. I was like, I relate to that episode.
Have you ever seen Big City Greens?
No.
No, from Disney. Dude, it's a country, like almost hillbilly-ish people that everyone around them sold out. So it's all like suburban, like
Okay.
heavy city, and they're the only like people still country living inside the city. It's a pretty dope cartoon. Yeah,
Never heard of it.
you should look it up.
I haven't. It
I have
sounds neat,
Disney
though.
Plus.
Look it up.
I caved.
What's that?
I canceled Disney for like months, and then my husband's deployed right now, and so I was like, nope, I'm gonna pay for it for a month. I need a break.
There's this other one my mother-in-law got called like Startup Show or Startup App or something. I tell everybody about it. I don't know how much it costs, but it has everything.
Okay.
Like if it's on Disney, if it's on Netflix, if it's on Hulu, if it's on Amazon, if it's on fucking, I don't think they have Apple TV, but pretty much any streaming service, Tubi,
Okay.
all the fucking weird ones you never heard of,
Yeah.
Freevee, they have all of it. So pretty much
Interesting.
any movie you want, like up to
It's
like the
findable.
1950s, 1940s movies even, it's findable.
Interesting.
It's just like a hub to search.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. It's probably, I mean, it's
Sounds like one of the unlocked Roku
it's
sticks.
it feels like that, but it's like an app you
Forbidden
can.
Roku.
It's an app you can download onto the Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's illegal. So I don't really know how they do it, but
It's
like
not
it
for
has
free though, right?
it has a category that's like says in theaters,
Whoa.
and most times it's not actually. It's like just out of the theaters, but there have been times where things that are still in the theater like are there, but like the next couple of days it's out on
Okay.
the regular streamings.
Interesting.
So it's a good one. You should look into it.
And it's all free?
No, you gotta pay for it.
No, I mean saying you pay for the startup and you
Yeah.
get everything.
Yeah.
Get
See,
the
TV
fuck out.
shows, all that shit, all the seasons.
Oh, that should be
everything.
our sponsor. Right
So
there.
it's like a
Yeah. Hit me up.
it's like a
Startup-
consolidation,
startup.
like a consolidation of all
Yeah.
the networkings into one payment.
It's like a repository for all streaming services.
But is it like,
It's not like anything. It's like great.
right? You sold that one.
No, I really do like it. We use it. I use it more than the other ones. I have the other ones, Netflix, all that shit. But like, I usually just go to that one and see what's new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like,
Wow.
the kid's like, I want to look I want to watch Space Jam. I'm like, fuck, which one is it on? I don't know. Just go to Startup and you can just search it and bam, both of them. Which one you like, the new one or the old one?
Wow.
Interesting.
Fucking Eric, blowing my mind.
Startup?
over here.
I'm a
Startup
nerd.
Show.
And it's on like
Here, look, there might even be an app in the App Store if you guys are not busy over there working.
Yeah, I was just looking at,
We're-
it's
we're
like
just-
startup
Huh?
show. Yeah,
Love
there's
it.
an app.
We're dedicated.
Yeah, I think so. And then try go look and see how much it is. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than paying for all of them.
Right. I've stopped paying for them lately and telling the kids they can get one DVD a month.
Oh shit!
And then I got like.
You want to buy some DVDs? I got tons.
Off of Amazon, I got a projector that you can put the DVDs in.
Oh, that's
so then I
cool.
can just move it around and let them watch that wherever.
Shine it on the wall or on the ceiling even.
And then, it keeps all like the ads out, you know, if you're on a DVD. And all the extra buttons.
Does that help with the ADHD not having interruptions every so often with an ad or a commercial? Like, you know what I mean?
Probably. I think it's harder when I give them like the PlayStation to watch Disney because then, I know how to get to YouTube. Or we're both watching something, but I now want to play my video game. And then no consensus any longer.
And then the fighting starts.
It's also like tactile. So like you have to sit there and flip through and take the time to be intentional about what you're picking.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you picked it, bro. I didn't choose it. This was you. We're watching this one.
Consequences to your choices.
And it's harder to change. Like you literally can't just hit a button
Yep.
and change it.
It teaches like really
follow through.
Really think about your choice because it's gonna be the next hour and a half or 2 hours of your time. So like, put some thought into it, and that's a good life lesson for like a lot of decisions. Like just think about it a little bit harder before you actually just pick up willy nilly.
I think when they were younger, I tried to do too much and keep up with way too much, and I 100% got burnout. Like you can kiss anybody I know. I was like so sick. I was in the bathroom 5 out of 7 days a week. And it would be like, I'm helping the kids, going back to the bathroom. Like, I just was not doing well. And when we moved out to Waianae, actually, I moved in a house. I could open all the windows, and the neighbors were chill, and no one was going to care if I smoked weed on the patio. And I was able to slow down. And that helped so much with me and them, because the calmer you are, calmer your kids are going to be.
What effects of the weed that you like that has attributed to you, like, helping you out with whatever you need to help out with?
Well, now that I know they're ADHD and autistic, I've been able to look at myself and be like, oh shit, like self-reflection, I probably have a little bit of that in me too. And then it's genetic. I think a lot of people ignore that autism is genetic. So like, if your kid has autism or ADHD, it's coming from one of you. And I can definitely say learning more about autism and ADHD and talking to adults who are autistic, cannabis helps with almost everything. Sensory overwhelm, too many sounds, too many lights. Going into Walmart, if I am not mentally prepared, I can leave and feel drunk because the lights just get me disoriented sometimes, especially if both the kids are talking to me and I'm trying to get everything on a list. So if someone's with me and I can smoke real quick and then run in, like, it's doable. And we got everything on the list, and I wasn't yelling at the kids to not touch stuff on the way out, you know.
As much as they say it's a sensitizing medicine, it's a desensitizer as well, you know, in a sort of sense where it helps you process what you're about to go through.
Yeah, and I think if you have a sensory processing disorder, which most people with autism or ADHD have, that it can help you almost get to a functional state sometimes.
Right.
Which, I don't know. There's a reason so many people smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's cool coming from that, where it's like you already know, you know, like, okay, there's gonna be a lot of activity going on over there. I'm gonna go and medicate real quick in my car or like wherever I need to. Get in there and handle it, and you know for a fact cannabis helps.
Yeah. And then for me, a lot of it was pain-wise, like as a parent. I think it was probably like 10 years of trying to figure out what was wrong with my body, and it was like, here's every antidepressant on the market, here's 7 different types of pain pills, try anything you'd like, and none of it was helping me get to a functional state. Like, yeah, I'd get better on the meds, but then once I was off them for a few weeks, something else would happen.
Right.
And cannabis somehow for me, with my sensory issues, puts like a bubble around my pain when I'm really hurting. And I'm able to work through it and figure out what to do from there almost.
Right. That's what's cool about like what May was saying, where cannabis can be also classified as it's not an intoxicant, but it's like it's how to feel normal.
Yeah.
Right. So there's 2 categories: people that would use as recreation, the people who don't use as much, and it would affect them more heavily, versus someone like you who's like, I need this to feel normal.
Yeah.
You know, and that needs to be clarified for everyone, the whole world. You know, that like there's two types that you can approach cannabis, and that therapeutic, type is why we kind of want to ask you here, because you know you're dealing with so much, and you're spreading yourself so many different ways, and you're using cannabis to attribute, the relief to all the things you're doing.
I feel like it's really similar to how it would work for PTSD, though, in all honesty.
Oh, yeah?
Because if you think about it, your brain is hyperactive and overreading everything and putting you in a state of fight or flight. Most people who are autistic or ADHD who are stressed out too much end up with autoimmune diseases, maybe even little stuff like psoriasis, stuff that your friends all complain about.
Yeah.
A lot of that is your body being stuck in fight or flight. And if you can't get out of it for long enough, your body can't heal.
Makes complete
So
sense.
being able to smoke to make the sensory overwhelm go away keeps my body out of fight or flight. Right. And that's what it does for PTSD, which is really interesting.
That's interesting. That's cool.
So how did you find out that you had ADHD? Was it from just kind of like hearing what was being described about your children, and you kind of being like, I know you said a lot of self-reflection. Was there like things specific that you heard?
It's
as like,
the algorithm. You're the algorithm man, so you Google one thing wrong.
I have.
And you can be on a wormhole.
Yes.
And so you Google ADHD, and you watch a video or two, and you catch one that's a mom talking about how her kid got diagnosed, and now she did. And it changed this, and this. So you go to her page, you watch a few more. Next time you open that Instagram up, you're getting someone who has similar content to hers. And I think because I found out that Big Eye had ADHD during COVID, that was 99% of my research. Was I'd like find a quick video while I was going pee or eating my snack. And then if I saw something that was interesting, it went in my notes and it went in the Google file. And it was like, find the actual like science behind
what they're saying,
what she was saying in that video, and find out if it's true. And almost time after time, I was finding things that were so validating to my lived experience.
God damn it. I feel the same way with some of the things I see, but I wonder if it's the algorithm. And I also wonder if there is, because of this social media and a ton of people posting about, 5 things that ADHD people do. If you're in a relationship with an ADHD person, all these things. And some of the things I hear, I'm like, oh, fuck, damn it. And then, but like, I wonder how many people are like, may have, or maybe relate to some of these things on a small scale, and then like use that as like
a diagnosis
for themselves without actually, because I've never actually talked to anybody about it, like a professional. But like without doing that and just going around
like
claiming
a self-diagnosis, and doesn't that make the initial?
Isn't that not like, you can't just self-diagnose yourself with something?
You can,
like,
but that makes it worse on your psyche, because then you go to the doctor and then they diagnose you, and then you know what it is. So you at that point you got to take it for what it is that you.
No, yeah, but I'm referring more to like the people who don't ever go see the doctor, and now, or you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I was diagnosed like when I was in elementary school, so that at that point.
You were?
Yeah, bro. So I'm identifying with this story, and
why you never tell us that?
It doesn't really pop up in conversation, but I mean,
hey, by the way,
you wouldn't be able to tell, and then I guess got me thinking, like, does ADHD ever go away? No, but when cannabis is introduced, I can kind of see a turning point where it helped me. Well, it kind of sucks that cannabis came later, because in elementary, like, at that point, my parents had to decide what we're gonna do. You're gonna get therapy, so obviously we did that.
Yeah.
But then came the pills, so they came the medication. And this is when they were still kind of like experimenting with Ritalin, so and it's kind of tough being in elementary school, and like everybody knows if you're like, oh, it's lunchtime, you gotta go to the nurse's office.
You gotta get your
It's stigmatizing. It's honest ableism. That's literally what it comes down to.
I didn't know any of this shit about you, man.
I mean, see, but you wouldn't be able to tell. But then, like, cannabis, like you said, Kalei brought up a good point. It makes you normal.
I love you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Hearing this, so it's like,
that's fucking.
What about that?
Man, shit, dog. I'll be nicer. I'm sorry, dude.
I'll be nicer.
No, but like the social
extra
interactions
sensitive
like
around
I
you,
like
bro.
that you think you got to be nicer. You got to watch out more. He's thinking twice as fast as you. He might be faster and sneakier.
I was just telling them before you got here about Asperger's and how that's on the spectrum of
PC,
autism.
they don't say that anymore.
What, Asperger's?
Yeah. I
Why?
don't know
It's
what
so fun to say. That's what
because
it's
of
called.
the guy it's named after.
Yeah. My
That's
sister.
literally it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like had something to do with ass and burgers.
No.
No.
You watch too much South Park.
I do.
I don't remember what he did. I just know
He that was the first to diagnosis or like come up with like the ways
he's
to.
like a bad guy.
picture-
He like researched on people from the Holocaust. They don't call it. Yeah, that's why
shit.
I'm like.
Is that why they don't do it?
They
Well,
don't
yeah,
call
I
it
can kind of
Asperger's
see why that would be
anymore.
PC
Funny.
because like.
But anyway,
Eric doesn't.
my
care.
sister went to
Random
college.
fun fact,
My
sorry.
sister has her like master's or
Yeah.
PhD in psychology, and she was a school psychologist. And one of her things she did was about autism.
Yeah.
And Asperger's is what she called it. So I'm gonna call it Asperger's.
Do it.
Told you
But
not
I
to
just think
care.
it's funny.
I was saying how like, not. I mean, I guess in a way I sort of am a little envious, just because the ability to just say what you mean. Because there's a lot of times where I was telling them like I feel like saying some fucking. To me, funny shit, but it's gonna be hurtful to the
Yeah.
person as a joke. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah, the shock joke. Man.
I wish I didn't have a filter and I could just say it and be like, my Asperger's. But I can also see how that can cause issues in real life
Well-
when you're trying to
Later.
deal with the cop and you have to comment. You can't help yourself from comment how fat he is and he's hanging over his belt. Like that's what Asperger's is. Like you see something and you just say it. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you're
but
fat today, dude.
You're trying looking for the golden ticket, like Cartman.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I was saying. It's like having
So
a
you watch so
golden
much
ticket. And
South
you can
Park,
explain it away,
motherfucker.
but I don't know. I don't know where that comes from.
Asperger's.
Yeah.
Just wanting to be like, fuck.
You just wanted to say
Have a
Asperger's
reason.
for the sake of Asperger's because you have Asperger's.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
You got a golden ticket, dog.
So I should just say shit. Yeah.
Dude,
That's
go
the
to the
thing.
old
That's why I
folks'
know
homes, artisan
That's where I
people.
know I don't have it because I don't say it.
Think
You know what I mean?
about
I
it.
think about it. Because I know
and
that
you're a
if-
normal fucking person for that
My-
shit.
yeah,
Like,
my-
that's what makes it so you
not
don't
normal,
have
that's
that.
offensive. You can't say a normal person. They're
Well-
just
Jesus, here we go with the PC talk, dog.
That's really hard though, and honestly, like getting my kids to learn how to talk, that was like really fun, because you're sitting them down and you're like, this is a boy, this is a girl, they wear this and they wear that, because that's what American medical systems like teach
No,
them,
I'm
and like
kidding.
it's all so binary for not just that, but so many other things that
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I don't know why I shared all that stuff either.
You're
Probably
good.
people get mad at me for that. I don't mean it in an offensive
But you don't
way.
fucking care, so it's all
You know what I
good.
mean? I don't mean it like hurtfully. Just
Pierre, you're fine.
Pierre.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not
Pierre.
I do care. Are you gonna hurry, light that joint? Let's take the focus off of what I just said.
Off of I don't care into the thankful.
I feel like we all got distracted though and missed the point, which is funny.
But it's gonna be on the internet. People
Dude,
can
you're
rewind
walking
it.
this fucking tightrope, and it's like I'm looking like, okay, maybe I'll tippy toe on it. Now,
What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say?
Yeah, almost like who's gonna take it? Like what? You know, it's like at this society, the like how you're saying, you know, you worried about filtering and you wish you didn't have to.
Mhm.
You shouldn't have to, because your intent of deliverance is what should count, right? Like, yeah, you know, I can say what I want to say. I don't know. Like for me, PC.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know a lot, and I'll catch myself saying some shit. I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
that's right. But you know,
But
like
it's also hard because it's so personal and it's so like in that person's own healing.
100%.
So like my kids have this song that they love by a lady named Mother Moon, and literally it says big belly, little belly, and like it talks about how some bellies are round, some are flat, some are flat, or no, some have a lot of muscle, some have a lot of fat. And so my oldest literally walked up to a therapist and was like, "Oh, you're the fat one, right?" And I was like, "Oh my god." But it's hard because it's like
Did you
culture.
laugh?
No, I literally
not?
froze.
I would've-
I
I
died
would've had
inside
the
my
heart.
body. I was so glad I was around the corner. So glad I wasn't like directly right there. I was like just out of eye shot, but I died
You're
within my body.
Pause.
mortified.
There's a big
I
pause there.
died.
I would have
The
found it
record
hard
just
to not laugh.
scratched.
But it's hard because society still thinks fat is bad, but it's also at the same time trying to shift it into saying it is what it is.
Right,
Like
like
society hasn't
body
decided how they feel about
positivity.
it. So
Well,
it's
that's
hard
like-
to teach your kids to be PC and polite when society doesn't even know what it wants almost.
Right, and the rules of that are ever changing. It's hard to keep up with like what you can and can't say,
Yeah.
That's completely true.
or not even that. Like what you can and can't say, or like what are the new terms, code switching, like things
Yeah.
that are
And who's it gonna
terminology being
offend?
used.
You know, sometimes like you say it and it's like you really didn't know it pertained to that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh shit, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry,
So
guys.
it's hard.
No, yeah, a lot of it is intention too, right? If people can see that, oh, it's just a mistake.
Yeah.
You would hope that they would be forgiving enough to just like, let that one slide, but maybe also tell you where you fucked up. And then again, it's on now that person, right? If you want to abide by these verbal standards or whatever.
Yeah.
I had to do an interview with not an interview. I didn't do an interview with them. I had to do a reference check. So I had to call one of their past employers to do a reference check on them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a they, but I didn't know that up until that
The phone
interaction
call. Yeah.
with him, because he referred to them as they, them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to think like, fuck, I interviewed this person. Like, did I like, that's the thing. When you're talking to someone one-on-one, it's easy to not use pronouns. You just address them.
You.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. Or if you're the only person in the room, you can just say, hey, and they know you're talking to them.
Or just use their names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use their proper nouns.
Yeah.
But I was trying to like think like, fuck, did I fuck up? Like, did I misspeak when I was interviewing this person? And then I found it hard to conduct this reference check call with having to be mindful of not saying her or, you know what I mean, she.
That's so exhausting.
It was
dude.
hard. That was the first time I've ever
Fuck,
experienced it living in Hawaii, because I feel like here, like, we don't have a lot of that. Like, I don't know. I don't experience that in my day-to-day life where I'm meeting people who use alternative pronouns to, him and her.
Or just be sis. You gotta
Oh,
use
bro.
Yeah, I was
That-
gonna say
I
I
feel
just
like-
hear sis and auntie a lot. Like,
But even like calling someone sis, like even that is like,
sis what?
I mean,
Just call him Mary already at that point. Hey, Mary.
there was already a word for that. It's called him and her. You know what I mean? But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to take us
Okay,
down
wait.
that road. I feel like the
good.
mood shifted. Not
good.
that
Okay,
we
wait,
just.
hold on.
Can you reel it back in?
In Olelo, now with all
Thankful
these
joint.
pronouns being
Oh,
said,
shit, sorry. I
in
didn't mean it.
Olelo, how would you address the markers of K and Ka? With all this,
Aren't those aren't like feminine or no, those aren't. Those are just
Right?
depending on what the fucking letter of the next word is.
Okay, wait, in what context though? What does King call it in the context?
isn't that the K and Ka both mean like a the, but one's feminine and one's masculine?
I've
That's
never
not right.
heard of that
No?
one, no.
They're interchangeable, and you use
Wow,
them.
Kumukale.
They use them
Bruh.
differently depending on the next word that follows what the first letter of that word is.
The first letter?
The non-Hawaiian is actually correct.
No shit. High five.
Oops. Oops. That's why you upside down on the live, motherfucker.
Oh, purgatory.
You fuck around and you find
Okay,
out.
okay. Now
But-
let's go to like.
But
And-
if you
oh,
you
hey,
could
how
talk
about
to
this?
someone else and they might tell you different.
How about this? How about I tell you this? The same goes for na and ne.
I could see that.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
All right. So okay,
would've
now let's
expected a little
let's
more
go to
resistance.
like. I can't. You already
I think that's
proved
about
your point,
That's probably where
dog.
the extent of my.
See, you
knowledge
just
is
don't
gonna
care. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you just rub it. So when it comes up to like French, right, or something that uses feminine and masculine in their
end.
language,
Spanish, yeah.
or Spanish, right? See, you know where I was going.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
motherf-
You were trying to apply like Latin languages to Hawaiian, which does not.
Well, I'm
correlate.
language in general, right, and like how people speak it, and they refer to objects as feminine and masculine. Like, how is that gonna pan out later on when they have all this?
I don't think all languages do they?
I mean, the ones that do, like Spanish is a big language.
The
you know?
romantic language.
I think what he's getting at is if you're someone who speaks Spanish but you identify as like a they them, is that what you're trying to say? Like how
No.
do you? Oh,
Just
okay.
objects in general. Like, how do you now define a masculine and feminine when everything
You don't.
is just
The
like,
Spanish don't. They just call it la biblioteca or le café, whatever. They just do that. They don't like. They don't change it, dude. They don't give a fuck about that shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's their language. They're not gonna. That's
it's so fucking
What-
nuts, bro. Like,
what you're describing. What we're talking about with the pronouns and stuff. That's uniquely
American.
American.
There it is.
there you go. Okay, that answered my question, by the way.
I mean, it may have spread to other countries, but I feel like that's.
But
it's
how is that
spawned
going to
here.
affect their everyday
It
language?
doesn't affect their language at all because they just go about their daily lives as it was before all this.
Huh. Interesting. What's up, Kumukale?
Fuck,
Fuck, man.
Kumu Kalei.
Yeah,
We take
where I
that.
took Olelo from. She told me that there's a feminine and masculine. Unless I fell
She
asleep
may
during
have, she
that
may
time.
have had an agenda behind it. Sorry to say.
You're not
but-
wrong. But you're not right.
She's trying to be Mana Wahine and just fucking add a little bit of oomph that might not have been there.
Categorizing that.
Maybe.
Oh shit.
Never
I'm
heard
trying to-
that,
I'm not
though.
trying
You
to-
heard that?
Yeah. But not
Feminine
for
and
not for
masculine?
like Olelo though. Yeah, not for Olelo.
No, yeah, Olelo. Yeah,
Yeah.
specifically. No,
I heard it for
have-
Lelo, so.
But the question was for Olelo.
Fuck me then.
No, it's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
just kidding. All right, thankful joint. I'm
Cool.
thankful for the people teaching Olelo to Kalei, and how my deep roots have now been questioned, and the feminine and masculine. Thanks, Erik.
You're welcome. I didn't mean to like blow up your spot like that. You know
Nah,
what I'm
you're
saying?
fine,
But
dude. That's nothing. I'm just making a joke of it.
that's just what I was taught.
I don't care.
I don't really care. That's cool. I'm glad.
I love it.
They're right though. I am the only non-Hawaiian. Well, you two now, but
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely me.
thank you. We've increased our demographic by 50%. No.
Checking boxes. Checking boxes.
It's funny because I feel really comfortable like in my neighborhood, but I went to Costco Kalei the other day, and the lady, I was like, "Do you have this one thing?" And she's like, "No, but it's probably closer to you anyway, over at YPO." And it took me like 5 minutes, and she's like, "Oh, she thinks I live on Schofield." I thought about it on the drive home. I was like, "Oh my gosh," because she literally told me like 4 times, but it's closer. Don't worry. And I was like, "Oh,
Save you a trip, honey.
like no, that's 30 minutes farther away."
Like, Auntie, you're making me drive way more.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for Carol King, who created the masterpiece, Pierre, the Boy Who Didn't Care, because it teaches us the value of caring for things. And I appreciate that. And I care for all of you here.
Was a good one. I'm glad I witnessed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was.
Erik, Pierre, Yamasaki.
My kids roll their eyes at this point. I bring it up so much to them
That's so
about.
funny. Have you ever watched the duck one in the lemonade stand?
No.
Oh gosh,
The
my
duck
kids
one.
have it memorized now. I'll have to show it to you later.
The duck in the lemonade stand?
Got me with that one.
Yeah, he's like a duck who's just on a mission for nothing. I can't give it away because
Oh.
it's like a joke. I don't know.
Is it like a Pink Fong production?
It's almost you can like
No.
start anything. Like, you ever heard of the buffalo in the carousel? Story. You can go anywhere with that. I remember my mom.
funny.
Fucking God bless her soul. She tried to be like extra Christian because that equaled good to her. So she showed us the child version of Jesus Christ and like all the bad shit that happened, but it was cool because it was in like animated version. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, pay attention to this.
So
I'm like, holy
scary.
shit. They're nailing him to a cross,
I mean,
but
they
it's
could-
okay. It's a cartoon.
They could do that cool in like a graphic novel way, like convey the
I think it should be like comic
Old
book.
Testament,
Yeah, dude.
comic books.
At least you got to see the animated version.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
My kids got
Your
to see the
heroes
Mel
brought to
Gibson
life
version.
Oh no.
Oh, damn. You showed him that one?
Yeah. Wasn't my choice.
You
but
showed
I
him
was
the
like,
Passion of Christ?
Yeah, it wasn't my choice.
What the fuck?
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Did you say what you were thankful for?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I was like, fuck, was I not paying attention? And she said it
Okay.
because I feel like you went right into the
I
duck in a
did.
lemonade
I
stand. And then I was
did.
like, wait.
I got distracted.
Yeah.
Semi-thankful the duck and the lemonade stand because
Cool.
it's funny. In general, it's kind of deep, but I'm thankful for the amount of privilege that's allowed me to sit here. Because I do think that in my parenting journey, if I haven't had the privilege I've had, it would be much different. In general, you know?
I was going to ask in what way would it have been different, but that's a very fucking broad question. I mean, it's like, how much time you got?
Yeah, so many.
How much space on the computer do we have? How much terabytes left? 0. Nah, I cleared some shit out.
I was gonna ask that before we
Don't say
started,
that.
but I figured you got it.
Gotcha, bro.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
No, that's
And
cool.
what you, Bud Naked? What you thankful for?
Thank you for my moms, man. Hardworking
Yay.
moms. I got a
Hell yeah.
wife that takes care of 3 kids too, and that's while I work. So like, you know, husband deployed, all you gotta do is take care of kids. Actually, it's not easy.
No.
No
We
way.
hear about it all the time. You know what they go through, and you know they gotta do. So thankful to your mothers, wives. You know, people raising their kids.
John Mayer got it right.
Yeah.
About gravity?
Be kind to your mothers.
Oh,
Your body's
their
a wonderland.
daughters?
Yeah.
My body's the one.
I'm trying to figure out this shit too. I'm just like, I'm stumping right now.
Mike, you're flattering me.
But
Turtle doves.
Dang, I go after that one. Mother's is a good one. Oh, well,
It's
It's not a competition.
Oh, jinx.
Hey,
Too bad.
hey,
Who
You
else?
owe
Who
me
a
a
Coke?
Nah,
energy
it's a
drink.
good one. Like,
Shit.
Owe me
dang,
an energy drink.
dang.
Back on the juice.
You owe me a rain.
Wow, I'm thankful for this podcast. You know, that it's opening up the platform to bring people in, have these conversations, and you know, I like privilege because I'm able to sit here and take all this in, and yeah, it's a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's not a competition. Why you gotta try and trump me like that for, man?
Trump.
It's
you.
a good one, man. Think about like when it first started.
Flag, dude.
Oh, we had so many different people on. It's so
I
awesome.
mean, we still continue to have a wide variety of people on.
I just look back and like, holy shit, that was a lot of people.
This is
That's
episode
awesome.
70.
Oh, roll the montage.
You know,
70?
And we're back.
Wow.
That's a good bit.
Shit.
Huh?
Good job.
70.
70.
Oh, good job, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Not bad, bruh. That's pretty good.
Are we gonna celebrate 100? Did you guys make plans? You're creeping up.
We
No,
have some
it's going to
plans.
take another year. We only do one every other week. So,
It's gonna creep up though.
Oh, yeah.
yep.
So we
I
got
know,
to
it was
plan
like 70 took a while.
now. Yeah. We
it's
can't
gonna be making
procrastinate.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. 2 years.
Well,
Can't
the beginning we were
ADHD
doing every
side
week.
quest it.
Huh?
Can't ADHD side quest it and get distracted.
Nah, no. It's just super fun. It's super therapeutic, and it's like it's cool talking to people. You know, like you get to hear their story because, I mean, we're so like ingrained in our lives, right? And there's like someone on the parallel doing the same thing, but coping with it differently.
Yeah.
So it's super cool to like just dive into that. And our community is cool as fuck. Like we have a lot of cool people in our community, and like a lot of selfless givers out there. You
Yeah.
know? That's what's cool. That's what we need to have more of in Hawaii in general. Give back and help out someone that needs help. It's super easy, you know. I hate like a lot of people. I get it, but I hate it. A lot of people are starting to throw the SOPs now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an SOP. You can buy it. Like
What is SOP?
standard operating procedures.
So
So
like
like,
they're selling SOPs.
like if you want to learn how to make medicine, right? Normally you just come into my shop and I'll just fucking tell you how to do it right there.
Yeah.
But people are like, I won't tell you shit. You got to buy my SOP.
Oh, they treat everything as intellectual property.
Like a plan.
Yes. I like how you put that too. IP
Yeah.
is another
I
thing.
mean, that is
popped
what
up.
it is, right?
It is
Yeah.
totally, dude. 100%.
I mean, if you got something special,
If it's
that a
something
lot of people
special,
want,
but if it's like,
you know.
oh, how to make RSO, like
Yeah.
you can
can't beat
Google
YouTube,
it.
You can't
That's
beat
Googleable.
YouTube.
Yeah, but someone would come in and ask you, right? And of course, it's Googleable. It's totally you can Google it, but why are you gonna tell them to do that shit? Just fucking tell them how to make it. Like you shouldn't even go on Google. I'll just tell you how to do it. You know?
And a lot of the times I feel like when people are asking someone they trust, it's because they don't have the confidence and they don't need to pay for another set of instructions. They need someone to be like, yo, you got this.
Like in the shop, I noticed like a little bit of encouragement went a long way.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, okay, this sounds like this is your problem. Let's try this and see if it works.
Yeah.
They'll come back and be like, oh, that was cool. Shh, no worries.
Yeah.
Next one, here we go. And then, fuck, I have like, shout out to my boy Ryan. Like he came in, he had a tent, he had like a couple plants, and he couldn't get, they're flowering real tiny. So I slowly went through everything, and he did his own research, and then he's posting pictures. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
So I like that, you know, like, and people need to be more like that. You know, just give, like, fuck.
It's not even giving because it's reciprocal. You know, when you give, you do receive something usually, even if it's not right then, you know?
Totally.
But even the act of giving, like being of service to someone, like you're saying, like just showing them how, like that's the reward in itself sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man.
But a lot of people
Wow.
don't see it that way. A lot of people are more like capitalistic minded, where it's like, oh, this fucker don't know, I'm going to charge this fucker.
Yeah.
I'm going to print them on PDF that he could easily Google it and just suck it
Yeah.
and buy them.
Some people that they'll write their own SOP from AI now.
Yeah, I could see that.
Chat GPT SOP.
Oh my God, do you fuck around with
No.
Oh.
I am so behind on most of that stuff because I feel like I get wormholed, like researching stuff, honestly, to figure out how to understand my kids.
But you could
And I
ask
never go down the
ChatGPT.
wormholes.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sell you
No,
on
I'm
the
curious.
idea
Tell
of
me.
AI.
Tell me.
But I mean, you could just talk to it like it's an intellectual person. Like if you have a question, you could just ask like how you would ask a doctor.
Okay.
Like what is, I don't know. You could literally just type in any question.
Yeah.
And
Why
it will
don't
give
I
you a
care?
It will give you a great answer.
Yeah.
And then you could just take that and use that to start your research.
My anxiety tells me it's going to be similar to Googling anything about cannabis that's medicinal.
No. It's this newer version. It seems to have removed a lot of the biases that you might think are associated with AI run by
Okay.
whatever
It's learning.
whoever you think might be controlling it, but open AI with ChatGPT
Yeah.
4, it's pretty fucking good. Like it's I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you can think of questions that you would assume would give biased answers.
Yeah.
But this newer round is pretty fucking
Interesting.
spot on. It's very measured answers. It's not just gonna be like, yeah, fuck that guy, but it's
Yeah.
like it'll tell you the truth.
Also Google this type
But
of
like
deal.
for more like
Yeah,
what are
fuck
like
that
even
guy.
like what are good starting, you could ask it like what are good starting points for researching ADHD, and it'll
Yeah.
give you a ton of shit, and you can be like, well, tell me more about this, and then and then you can
Yeah.
like what are good websites, and it could probably give you that.
Could you imagine back in the day when they never had all these resources
The
and it was
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of like unknown still a little bit? Terrifying.
still-
I
Oh,
do you
just
one
as
in the
crazy.
opposite direction. How about can
Yeah.
you imagine like 20 years from now when this technology is just
Yeah.
in our brains and you don't have to
It's
even think
learning.
about anything? But
or
like,
or when we're
getting
tracking
there.
DNA stuff better and we know. boom,
Skynet.
straight
But, like,
out
here's the
womb.
thing.
Beware of Skynet, people.
say you have. I mean, this is just like some of the
You wanna hit that
implications you
joint?
can do.
They already have Neuralink.
Yeah,
First
I
guy
know.
got Neuralink.
I
saw
know.
that
But listen to
shit,
this.
dude.
Say you get a pamphlet from some resource, a doctor or something, and it's like, I don't got time to read this shit. Take a picture of it.
Yeah.
You can upload it to ChatGPT, and you can say, hey, ChatGPT, convert this into text.
Yeah.
Brrr, it'll just do it. I mean, a lot of phones you can do that now
Yeah.
anyway, but
So.
ChatGPT, yeah, it sounds exactly like that. It goes, brrr, brrr, and then turtle doves fly in around you, and they just fucking land on your shoulders,
Cool.
and they watch as you make sure you're using it correctly. But you can do that. Then you can copy and paste it or select it, and whatever your computer has probably has text to speech,
Yeah.
and you let it read it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that kind of cool shit you can do to just save yourself a little bit of, in my opinion, reading time.
I get that.
But I also have used it to like, I got a chunk of text. I'm like, what the fuck? Give me the key points. So I just copy pasted that into it and say like, summarize this in bullet points.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I
Damn.
can see that.
You can write a movie on that. Stuff.
I get transcripts from like audio, like
Yeah.
text, and it has a horrible time with Hawaiian words. It has a horrible
Oh,
time
I'm
with just
sure.
like a lot of shit. So it's like kind of crazy. So I can copy and paste that with the errors and all, and I'll
Interesting.
tell it, hey, this is from this auto transcript software. Fix the errors, and it fixes it. It's still a little off sometimes because what the transcript AI is trying to like phonetically sound shit out. So sometimes it puts two words that sound like what they said. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
But I've had ones where it was like the word Hawaii on the transcript was like broken up. It was like a weird spelling of it,
Interesting.
and ChatGPT saw that and fixed it and knew it was trying to say
Okay.
Hawaii, even though it didn't hear the audio of the person saying it. It was just going off this off text, and it
Okay.
knew it.
That's extremely frightening.
It
It's
is kind of
super cool though.
I
It-
have seen people use it for like, hey, I just bought a house. What's everything that I need to do for annual maintenance?
Mhm.
And it literally shoots you out everything. If you have a water heater, do this. If you have this, do this. And you can print out or do whatever your checklist for all your house maintenance
You
and
want to know a cool,
stuff like that.
Another cool implication
That's
of it is
good though for so many reasons.
You guys are fucking blowing my mind right now.
So with ChatGPT, you can say,
Be a
I have
tradesman.
you have you can write I have this and this. I have a pound of this, a quart of this, whatever ingredients. Say, give me a recipe I can make.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
I saw a mom do it more intense than that. She said, make me 5 meals with chicken one night, beef another night, whatever.
But-
And make me my grocery planning list. And it literally said what she was going to make each night and like her whole grocery list.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And
Yes.
like they can import it to Instacart.
Yes, and couple that with
What?
They have refrigerators that have cameras inside your fridge.
Shows you what you're
that
low
shows
on.
what's in
that's
there,
too much.
and then you can couple that with that and be like, tell me based on what's in my fridge, like what can I make, and if I need anything, just put in an order at DoorDash or whatever, and all
That's
done.
a little scarier to me.
And you could just say it by saying, "Hey Alexa," or "Hey Siri."
It says, Print Shop Hawaii says, Chat GPT, pros and cons of being a business owner. And,
Is that a question?
no, he's saying just try.
Me, the
Ask
pros
it.
and cons.
Yeah, no, just tell him pros and cons on AI of being a business owner. And then he says, create a business plan.
Yeah.
You can,
Wow,
yep,
fuck.
you can type that in.
Jesus.
I have a budget of this. I have da 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 da. Like I live in. He can put in all the parameters. I live in Hawaii. It'll like know what the average rent. It can figure like all that shit out. And even if it's not like
It's
100% accurate, it's like got you like
Yeah.
80 to 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
Skynet.
It's creepy.
Dog, it's fucking kind of cool, man.
It's cool, but it's also creepy.
It's creepy. It takes all the manual out of everything,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like, think about medicine. What we know now versus like 50 years ago, 60 years ago. Like, holy shit. And imagine, like, what we knew then 60 years ago and all the literature and data that was taking that could possibly been mishapped. You know what I mean? Bad diagnosis and fucking 60 years ago. Versus now we're like, oh shit, this exists.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay.
For me, though, it still needs to take in more data. Like, we
Oh.
don't share data enough for some
Yeah.
of these tools to be.
I think that might be a misconception based on
don't
like
know.
the internet
I haven't
being
seen
like
it, I
the
guess. I
internet
don't know.
being like so encompassing, because I think that's a lot of what Chat GPT does. It just like figures out the answer to your question based on what the internet has. I don't know how it does all this text and all that kind of cool
Yeah.
shit. That's another probably part of what it does. But like, if you say like, tell me about World War II, all that shit it's reciting back to you is gonna be shit from the internet.
Yeah.
It's not like thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's doing a broad search of all the
Yeah.
But the fact that it does it like so fast in
fast.
real time, like
Yeah.
it is kind of shocking. But you can have like the way you interact with it, or the way I've interacted with it, it's like you can just like ask it to do something. Like I did like for example, like take this text and summarize it and put it into bullet points, and then it'll give it to you, and then I can just respond and be like, make the bullet point shorter, and it'll give me another version with it, shorter sentences.
Like, don't get me wrong. Some of it's going to be so helpful, especially like
Mm-hmm.
there's kids I see in the office when I drop my kids off for therapy who are nonverbal, but they use like AAC devices. So iPads that basically speak for them, or like spell to communicate devices where you're literally just typing. And I feel like some of that technology is going to be so helpful in the future,
Yeah.
but only if we like community base it enough. Like medical wise, it's not going to do shit unless we involve other countries' data, in my opinion.
Totally.
Like, think of the international
yeah.
cannabis
Yeah, yeah.
data versus the U.S.
Right.
cannabis data.
Totally.
The same goes for like autism and ADHD and almost every single illness known to the American public.
Right.
Within that realm of like autism, and that are countries in good communication about sharing data from their countries?
Some things. Like there was that big vaccines cause autism spiel online that was really big. And there's another country that's been, they don't care about medical privacy as much, basically, so they track it better. And they were like, just straight up, our data, we give the same vaccines, we're showing no correlation in literally it causing autism. Like the kids who had autism already, it might have made it a little worse, but it's not the root factor because they know it's genetic
Right.
most of the time.
Most of the time?
Like they know who it is. You know who it is? What I mean? If it's mom or dad.
So is it like just like straight up, like if your kid is diagnosed or is on the spectrum, that someone in your family line has it?
Oh yeah.
It just doesn't, you
Yeah.
might not have picked up on it previously.
Or you figured out a way out of it. Like I was a child caregiver. My mom was really sick when I was young, so I learned a traditional woman's role. And my brain thinks fast enough. I was able to figure out how to do everything efficiently enough and still have time for me. So it was no big deal. Like, it worked out until it became stressful later on because I realized how actually emotionally important taking care of someone can be. You know, as you get older, I think that you see it's more important, and it was more stressful. And then I finally like got burnt out because I had taught that that's how I used my ADHD almost because I didn't know I had it. Which is, I feel like, similar for a lot of people. You don't struggle until you burn yourself out.
Right.
You know?
You think you're functioning, but you're actually redlining it
Yeah.
until it fucking.
Yeah, like if you meet people who, I'll say it this way, meet me before my burnout. Like, they would be like, I would have never known you smoked weed. You looked like the perfect military wife. Like, I would have never guessed. That's like the exact words I've heard. Because my ADHD told me, you present this way, you act this way, you stay in line, you do X, Y, Z, you know?
You code switch it.
100%.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, totally.
But now I can't.
Everyone
I
has
can't
to do
help it.
right?
People look at me and they're like,
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy's an asshole.
it's kind of intentional because like it forces me to like just live and accept that because it is such a big part of my life. It's not necessarily an identity, but like I am no longer comfortable with trying to like hide the fact that I smoke. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or that I use cannabis or that I whatever terminology you want to use. And like I'm fine with that. I understand that like my family might get looks at certain ways.
Yeah.
However, in part of like the mission of this podcast and even just in life is to break that stigma. So
Yeah.
people who've like actually interacted with me will see like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But like I can understand that there is a stereotype that people see from afar, but like I can't worry about those people. Fuck them.
No. Yeah. Agreed.
I
Like
think
I've
that-
talked to my sorry,
Oh,
I'm
you're fine.
You're good.
like I talk to my son's principals at school. Like I interact
Yeah.
with these people. It's not like I don't know. I'm not trying to hide, but I don't wear like Pakalolo farmer gear to school events. You know what I mean? I still like.
I'm like, I got my gibbet. I don't know if that counts. I'm sure
Like, I
that all
don't-
the kids have seen mine.
I don't dress like other like there's certain places where I know it's cool, like the expo or we're going to like the Aloha Cup, like those
Yeah.
kind of events and those places like totally fine. But like when I'm not that in those places, I don't wear like
You gotta adapt to your situation, right? You're not gonna go
code switch.
You can only be as vulnerable as you're comfortable being.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
Like-
go into court fucking dressed as a stoner. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna do any of that shit, right? You're gonna dress proper, aloha shirt, pants.
If
And
I
just-
still lived on base, I wouldn't wear my Pakalolo Farmers shirt to the commissary. But now I
Right.
don't live on base, so
Now
I
you
can wear it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, like around the house I wear it. When I run to Safeway I wear it. All that kind of shit I wear it. But like when I gotta be like with I don't know,
It's so crazy that it came down to that, right?
which
Like,
kind of sucks, right?
It's
'Cause-
stuck on my knee fucking forever. So it's
Well,
like
you say
wherever
stuck
I'm.
on you say stuck on your knee like it wasn't your choice to put it
No,
there.
no, I'm saying I'm using that as a reference, right? Like, well, take it off. Like I can't. So that's the reason why I put it on there, right? It's like I don't give a fuck about the stigma and how this makes me look. You know, when I go
It's
to my
more
my daughter's school, right? Like that's meaningful to me.
Yeah.
The plant is meaningful, not just weed and getting high. It's like the plant itself
Yeah.
gave me a lot. So like,
Yeah.
fuck you guys.
I think your phone died.
Fruits and culture,
did.
Babana. That's what you feel it.
Exactly. It's way deeper than it has anything to where like I'm gonna put on a shirt or put on a hat. Of course, like if at my daughter's school, my pants rides up and I see the teacher look down at it. It's like what? Like
Yeah.
look at my kid. She's okay. you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
I
People
don't know. I
judge.
feel like the teachers have to know. There's some of the days we walk over there and I'm like, I'm feeling fine when we start the walk, but then we get to the end of the walk and I'm like, I must have burnt some fat 'cause I'm feeling fucking stoned. And I'm like, I hope my glasses are dark enough. Like, I hope we're gonna be
Don't look at me in the eyes.
I don't know. My usual tactic is just always be stoned around people, so that way that's their baseline. Like,
Then when you're like sober, they think you're on crack and shit. Like, oh my god, look at Eric.
Yeah.
He's so lively today.
I mean, there's ways to get like this certain look on certain forms of identification, so that way if you ever have to present it to people, you look the way you're gonna look when they ask for it, like that kind of
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
Premeditated.
Yeah. You plan for this kind of stuff. It's called being a grown up.
Yeah.
But like, no, yeah, that's kind of the thing. Is like, get a new job, go interview high, figure it out, bro. You're good. Don't worry about it. This fucking. This is not advice for anybody watching. Please take it with a grain of salt. But that might be beneficial, and then they just always know you as that, and they never really like question when you come in.
It's about being honest. Like, yo, I'm gonna show up this way, no matter what. You know.
Yeah.
It's weird. We have to like
It's a commitment.
ask permission for that.
Mhm.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, you're fucking smoking, and there's smoke breaks at work. And Ashley made a good point where it's like, bro, I'm working, and this guy took like 4 cigarette breaks. Like, that's another half an hour. Holy shit, where's my half an hour? Right? So it's like this guy got an hour out of his day, and it's paid for, and now I only get a half an hour lunch break. That's bullshit. So you got to think about that. You know,
Well, I was that dude.
totally.
Yeah.
Hey, but the work is getting done. I didn't work in
Yeah.
a. I didn't work in like a environment such as that where like me dipping out for a smoke break affected everybody. You know what I mean? It's not like other people had to work harder while I was gone. It was just
Yeah.
like, hey, is Eric's work getting done? Yeah. Like, well, fuck, who gives a shit?
That's
Yeah.
really what matters anyway.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's
I
universal.
think people were
Yeah.
more concerned that you come back smelling like cigarettes. Like, you stink, you fucker. Like that was more of the issue.
Right.
Then
You
I
know-
started
No.
vaping.
There you go. That's a good. You know,
And I
like,
think that's where a lot of the market for vaping with weed comes in, is people who
Yeah.
can't like go take a break and come back smelling like
weed.
I
za.
think you're talking about 90% of the military wives
Yes.
and or spouses.
Yeah.
90% of them.
Even like, you know, people like to smoke joints and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I like
Mhm.
bongs
Yeah.
just because it doesn't like stick in the room,
Yeah.
and I can just smoke in the house in my little
Yeah.
room where it's closed. You know,
Yeah.
my daughters have no access to any of that shit, so it's safe. You know,
But even to like soccer games, outside events, like other parents have those things.
Mhm.
It's in their buggy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, totally. That technology just opened up a door for a whole new
World.
like.
It
Yeah,
it
thanks,
even
Aladdin.
the playing field. It really did. It's our wine in our Starbucks cup.
Yeah.
totally.
We now have our vape pen that smells like banana.
Yep.
It leveled the playing
And our
field.
macchiatos were good.
Yeah.
Coffee and weed, right? Such a good pair.
That's an
Bong and a
eighty-
blitz,
Bong and bits.
Yeah.
What, smoking a pancake?
blunt and a bagel. What? No.
Cigar and a waffle?
No, it's fucking, it's cool. Like every morning, like, oh, not every morning. Actually, I had stopped waking and baking. It's just pretty cool. I notice I kind of like linger in the room a little bit longer when I wake and bake, and when I don't, I'm just kind of out the door. But I usually like smoke a joint or take a bong rip and then have coffee. It's the best, man.
Yeah.
I love that start to the morning. Ugh, get so much done.
That's
It's
my
ritualistic.
anti-Adderall routine.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Coffee and weed.
Yeah. 100%.
Coffee's so good. Oh my god.
Sherry, I have
It's
a
bad,
question
though.
for you.
Let's hear it.
When was the first time you got high?
Oh, I was actually. You ready for this? I feel so old. I know all of you smoked so young. I was
Try me.
24. 24. And it was Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And my husband was deployed. And I was on like day 4 or 5 of really bad migraine.
Oh shit.
And I was like, yo, I ain't coming over to my friend. And she goes, it's Christmas Eve. Why not? Like, I don't believe you. She goes, come over. I'll take the baby and you can like ditch. I could not. Like, I was like puking at her house. Like, I don't want any lights on. And she goes, I know it makes you uncomfortable, but will you please just go smoke a little bit with me? And growing up, I think that like because I was the main caregiver, I had to be careful about everything I did.
Right.
And weed smells, and if you get it in a town of 1,000 people, everybody knows. So I never had the opportunity really, and until I met her, I never met anybody who intentionally spoke to use it as medicine. You know, it was still probably medicinal and a coping tool for a lot of them, but it wasn't with intention. And looking back, I giggle because it was a desktop vaporizer with the tiniest amount of probably the shittiest flower because it was North Carolina and it's illegal, you know, at the time. And I came in, I sat on her couch, and I took a 20-minute nap. I woke
Nice.
up and my migraine was gone. And I think I had an existential crisis for like the next 3 months trying to figure out what to do.
As in, like, should you continue to smoke weed
Yeah.
or like contemplating like because you
Yeah.
felt it was so beneficial from that one time?
Because I was so shocked that so little of something I had been told was wrong did so much more than everything else on my counter.
Did you feel you were lied to a little bit?
Yeah.
recounting all the people in your past who was like, they fucking told me about this
Dude,
shit.
I saw it as more of a tool after that, and there was people in my life that I looked back at and I was like, ooh, I understand that person so much more now.
Nice.
And it was helpful, you know. Thankfully at that time I knew we were already moving here. I wasn't super stoked about it. I was like, it's so far away, but I was enticed by the fact that like medical was legal. I was like, well, if I'm going to do something quote unquote wrong, at least I'll be doing it right.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Which is still hard when your husband's active duty, because depending on who they work for directly, they can have different attitudes towards it. So it still felt wrong for the first like 3 years. Easy.
How was that with the kids though? Like the weight of like, oh, how is this gonna look with the kids?
I think for the most part, like it was in the garage in the beginning, you know, and then we moved here and I had to hide in a closet for a while.
Oh shit.
For a couple different reasons, but it was just easier too. It was my quiet time, my time away, and I think because I was partially uncomfortable using cannabis as medicine, I would sit in there and I had a big mirror and I would smoke and I'd just look at myself and be like, you're not a bad person. This is helping in X, Y, and Z way, and kind of talk myself through whatever I was having a problem with whilst stoned, which was very helpful.
Totally. That's like super therapy right there.
It really was. It really was. But it helped because, you know, I was stressed the fuck out.
That's so cool.
I think you're the first person. We asked that of all of our
Yeah.
guests. I think you're the first person that their story is like with an intention to use it to have a medical benefit.
Totally.
I
Everybody
feel
else's
that
story
way
is like,
90% of the time I
right?
talk to
I mean,
people.
that's a unique story because most of the time it's like my older brother, my cousin, you know, they got it, and it's like it wasn't with the intention as medicine.
Yeah.
I went Sandy's. Shout out
And
to
it's hard
Kyle.
because I feel even now, like most of the people that I vibe with, like on my bad body days and days I feel worse, it's like, this is medicine today. This is just getting us through it. Like there's very few people who understand that. And it's usually like my neighbor who's 68 and just had a stroke. And it's like, I'm young. I have 2 young kids. Like that's not the vibe I should be trying to go with. I need to have more energy in my life. But it's not possible.
I think there's a lot more. I think that's coming along. Like I see a lot more people viewing it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, probably because my wife is kind of like the same way.
Yeah.
So I get on my algorithm, I guess, on Instagram, like it shows me those freaking Instagram moms that smoke,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. They talk about it and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I think it was always like that, but it's
Yeah.
more. It's coming out more, and it was more underground.
More shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more
But, like,
beneficial than
accepted.
anything, right?
When we moved here, though, like as a military spouse, trying to find someone, like you're a military spouse, good luck finding a local who's going to give you a consistent price.
Right.
If you are social anxiety at all, which is me, like the first guy I met up with, it would be like 400 for an ounce one day, and then the next day it was like 150, and I wouldn't know. And you need a budget as a parent.
Right.
You have to feed your kids.
Jesus Christ.
So then I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah.
Hey, we all paid
The funny
400
part
at
is
one
those
point.
400 ounces were sometimes so much worse than those 150 ounces. I was like, this is bullshit.
And that's where it makes
It's like-
you mad, right? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where's the consistency in the scale of this shit?
Well,
Yeah.
it's like the salt in the wound, right? Like you
Yeah.
overcharge me and you get shitty weed.
Yeah.
Damn.
And you
Like, what
let
do you
it be
think I am, a
known.
tourist?
You let it be
Right.
known by like giving you cheap prices for good weed. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, I got you on this last one. Like, fuck.
Yeah. But as a medical patient and a parent and a military spouse, like there's 7 layers, it feels like, before you can find someone almost.
Totally.
Unless that person you're going to is willing to be super vulnerable and put their name out there,
Right.
which is hard.
We've all paid $400 ounces, guys. Come
In
on.
high school, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I'm just, yeah, I don't care
Yeah.
how long. I mean,
Can't
I'm not
be
concerned
positive
about
on
how
this
long
one.
ago it was. I'm more concerned that we just all have done it. How
Yeah.
long ago was that? How long? When did you move here?
Pre-dispensary. So I moved here. I remember the first expo was happening, like right
Oh, like-
before. Yeah. So
like
it was
2015?
2015, 2016, I think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's pre-dispensary. I got my card.
Yeah, none of us were paying $400 at that time.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. It was rough. It was the only number I could find from someone who was like willing to text me back, which, as one of my neighbors pointed out last week, it's because I still have I don't have an 808 number. And he goes, nobody's going to answer you. They think you're a creditor. And I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious, but probably true.
And you don't want to leave a voicemail.
Yeah, and you don't want to write certain things during text, you know, so.
Yeah, totally.
Boy,
funny.
times have changed.
Yeah. Definitely glad I'm not doing that anymore. But I mean, I found a couple other people along the way, but it's also like, I'm a mom trying to use cannabis as medicine whilst semi in a gray area as a military spouse. I need a consistent price and a consistent person, and my husband's gone, and I have 2 kids in the backseat. That is still not a solution for some people. You're not going to meet up with someone you found on Instagram with your kids.
Sketchy.
And you can't go to any of the dispensaries with your kids.
Right.
So you're still kind of fucked medically.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a portion of people who are fucked in that category.
Yeah. Once you started using the dispensaries, did you find it beneficial? Like, what are your thoughts on this dispensaries here?
6 of one, half a dozen. If you're coming down for a vacation and you just need to go get your shit for the week, I think that's a really good solution.
Totally.
I also think, like, if you are a military spouse who is maybe a couple ranks higher than my husband and can afford to run the loyalty programs because maybe you're a little less medicinal and more recreational, then run the dispensary programs.
Right.
But I think I can't afford that, you know? That's what it comes down to.
And, you know, that's where local farmers is going to be key, you know, in a situation where it's you cut out that middleman of the processing.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the laws being no collectives, you know, that kind of hurts, you know, people like her.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, they're trying to, people view it as like, oh, you're funneling these people in to the dispensaries because that's the only means for them to get their medicine. Sense of like monopoly, right? It's like control the price points.
Yeah.
You guys got to come here.
See, and I'm like this weird nerd who thinks it would be so nice if just that weird group of people could find all the local farmers, because it's exactly what a new military spouse needs for 3 years. They need someone who's going to say hi to their kids and say bye to their kids, like a consistent adult outside of the nuclear family, because a lot of military kids don't have that, even if it's just someone in passing. And that can be beneficial, you know, to anybody. And then I think military families do need consistency, but our money should be going to better places. And it doesn't end up in the places it should, I think. We get discounts for all these shit in Waikiki, but no one ever advertises any of like the smaller fun things to do with your kids. None of the farm days that you can go and have your kids do, or
that are actually free. You don't actually have to pay to do a farm day.
Yeah, like we live right by Makaha Elementary, and they have you pick days, and you bring your kids and you walk through the field, and the kids pick your food. You wash it together, you weigh it, and then they send in that information to the state, and they get grants based on how much it's weighed. So literally, the more families use it, the more money they get. And it's like, those are the types of things I think that if more stony spouses found in the military side, that
Are there a lot of stony spouses?
so many.
Really? In the military?
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
It's not a demographic I would have like pegged.
High
for-
stress, babies having babies.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Well,
are
yeah,
young.
Okay, yeah, stony. You mean like yeah. For some reason, I'm picturing hippie.
Oh, you're stigmatizing?
I am totally 100%.
There's a few out there.
Yeah.
And I do think that is getting a little bit more relaxed too. Like there's a lot more people being open about the stuff they're into that's been tied to cannabis traditionally. There's a lot more like sound baths and crystal healing and stuff going on, and it's like, I see you at the dispensary all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
The two are kind of connected in a way.
Yeah.
I started seeing you at yoga
Yeah.
with the red eyes.
And, yeah, right? You had extra snacks that day.
You're drinking a lot of water.
So I do think some of that's changed, but
Did you go to any of the expos? Have you been?
yes. I went to one with a baby on me and one pregnant. That one pregnant was rough. I was very tired because I was due at the end of February, so the expo's in February, right?
Oh shit.
I was like, oh my God.
Getting those steps in.
I was hoping it would help make it come sooner,
Right.
you know?
Did you feel weird going there? Was there any like fear or
I was
hesitation.
I knew another mom who was going, who was also pregnant, and I knew I was going to see her. So I think that helped my anxiety a lot. And I think I had become so frustrated during pregnancy at all the weird looks I had got going to certain places. I tried to stop smoking for that pregnancy, and I relied on some CBD gummies so hard. But there was only one brand that I felt like really worked because they were made here and they were fresh. I was like, go figure. And walking into a store that I haven't been into before, and they haven't seen me non-pregnant and being huge, looking for gummies, and then also looking at these glass pieces like, ooh la la, people look at you weird.
Right.
There was literally only one store that did not, and he was like, are you still smoking, and trying to give me advice on like the healthiest way to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely coming back here.
Right.
So like at the expo, I kind of went in with a different mentality. I was like, I'm going to intentionally walk up to each of these dispensaries and tell them they suck. Because what am I going to do once this baby comes? You know, like they were very judgmental every time I went in pregnant.
Is there a thing, like I know, like when your husband's out on deployment, he can't go get things for you.
Yeah.
But.
I mean, he
him-
doesn't anyway because he can't.
Right. Damn, yeah.
Most of the time, I don't even tell him if I have stuff in the car. Just to be safe.
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
plausible deniability.
Yeah.
I get that.
It's usually like, hey, I'm not going to make it home. Buckle the kids. I'm going to sit on the back of the truck for a minute.
Is there anyone that you could like designate as a caregiver that you could?
They're taking away that for the state.
Yeah.
When?
2025.
I was going to say.
Well, you got a few months.
No, they can still purchase.
They can go to the
For you.
dispensary for you at least. I
They
mean,
can still purchase for you, but yeah, you got to go to
No, that's the
dispensary.
thing.
Caregivers are not going to be allowed to grow.
So
But the thing
she's
is-
funneled into a dispensary.
yeah, that's how they're
Yeah.
gonna
Yep,
get
yep.
everybody. Even
Yeah.
Josh Green,
Yep.
after those bills didn't pass, he made a statement saying about how he would like to see even looser licensing laws or medical card laws, so that way just basically any adult could get
Like
a medical card.
prescription.
Yeah, they could just
Yeah.
get a medical card for.
So like the 30 milligram Adderall my husband can pick up for me.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like, cool, you can have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically making that like the standard so that way you don't have to go to a medical doctor with what you might think is a severe, you know what I mean? Like, it could be open to like, it just makes me feel better. Like, okay, cool, you get a card. And now you can go to dispensary, which again, still funnels everybody to the dispensaries. And that
Yeah.
didn't even allow like
Which in
more
a way,
dispensaries to pop up. Like the fact that they're just going to keep it to the same ones.
They've got to open it up
I was
at
gonna say,
some point, though. They're
that's
going to
the-
open it
Gotta.
up to more people.
They have
cannot
to.
put a monopoly on it like that. They're not going to let them just stay like that.
yeah.
Because you would think like, oh, if everybody got to go there, their business going to be booming, so their prices should drop.
But
Oh,
it's not
damn.
it's not healing based, so it's not going to work.
No, yeah. That's the thing, because
At
it's
all.
going to shift from, like, in air quotes, the medical program it is now to essentially a rec program
Yeah.
through, air quotes again, medical dispensary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not even, like, it changes the program completely.
Yeah. Fun times.
It's kind of butt funneled in that way, right? Where it's
Who?
butt funneled.
Huh?
It's a John Taffer term. Well, it's like everything is like
Where do I
just
purchase one of those butt phones?
well, everything's getting funneled into where like you cannot.
Yeah.
There's only one option, and to me that's a monopoly, like Mike's saying. But at the same time, like that's fucked up. Like they're putting out people in livelihood and opportunity for everyone to make it, you know, and for
Yeah.
you to have access to medicine,
Yeah.
alternative medicine, and not go into one entity, because that one entity we already know when the demand creeps up, so does your scaling,
Yeah.
and your quality is gonna go down.
It's not just that. How can you say you're getting some healing from something that you have to go through a metal detector to get? You're inherently being told it's wrong for you to get it from the moment you open the door.
Right.
Like if you can't ever mentally relax, you're never gonna physically heal.
I get it.
You know?
Noah doesn't have metal detectors, do they?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I've never walked into that.
I know
fucking
Aloha
place.
Green does. But the security guard, they're super fucking cool.
Yeah, sir, you got to fill out this questionnaire. Fuck it,
Oh,
I'm gone.
dude, don't even hit me with a form. Oh my god, my nemesis are
Mushrooms
forms.
and forms,
Just
Brad,
no,
does not
just
go good
forms
for.
in general. Like, I'm out. Fill this what?
He said,
No,
"Fuck that, I'm out." Wait for you guys in the car. I'm like, dude,
I don't
put
feel
your name
anything.
down and your address. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Oh,
Feel you.
send us a picture of your medical card. What? No, just look at my phone and let me in. Shut up.
Yeah.
It should be like open market, whoever.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be preaching that shit to her blue in the face. But these fucking lawmakers, man,
Yeah.
make it hard for us.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah. That's the thing too, is they try to like trick people into like, oh, this is the good legal bill for everybody. But it's like, dude, I don't
Yeah.
know. On the surface, it sounds good. Everybody can be on board. Like the people who just want to get
Yeah.
shit, you know what I mean? But like, it totally fucks up the medical side of it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to think like how the medical side isn't going to get overlooked in any sort of like,
Yeah.
I think there should be some like kind of rewards
Legal.
program or like you should have extra perks by it being medical for you.
Yeah.
Like you should have more rights and have a little bit more say in how you cultivate it. Like if you want to grow, fucking you should be able to grow as much medicine as you want. Like that should be your green light, you know, and really look at the ailments, not have people bullshit, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But then again, circle back around, caregivers. These
Yeah.
people that have the ailments for cannabis can't farm their own weed. So
Yeah.
you got to find somebody. So taking away
Yeah.
caregivers is probably the worst thing that he could have done.
I would agree. Because, like, I look fine now, and for the most part, like, walking around normal daily life, like, you wouldn't know. But there's days, like, I'll admit this, I've puked in the back of my truck, dropped my kid off, and came back to puke in the back of my truck again. And it's like, I don't drink. I haven't drank for years, but somebody would think I'm a drunkard, you know, based off of how my body dislikes me.
Just your migraines.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then stomach problems, too. So it's like the fun trifecta. But it's like when, I don't know.
You got to make it work, though. You know?
Yeah, you got to make it work. You don't have a choice.
Right.
You know?
And the coping mechanism for that would be weed. You know, and that's
Yeah.
the bottom line. So, like, putting all these laws, this restriction on someone like you who really needs it,
Yeah.
it's ass backwards because we're all fighting for the
Yeah.
medical use of cannabis, right? And to me, like, personally, when I look at, okay, we're creeping recreational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Recreation can be medicinal in a sort of sense in how you look at it, but we should definitely keep the medical intact and have them have special rights
Yeah.
because that's a need, not a want. A recreation is
Yeah.
a want. This is like, they need to feel normal.
Yeah.
They don't need to get high. You know,
Yeah.
and that's why May is the queen because she basically put that into twos. Like, you know, and
Yeah.
maybe she didn't come up with that, but like she made it so I could fully understand what they're talking
Yeah.
about, right? Like, okay, Kalei, you should do this or this. And like, that's so fucking perfect
Yeah.
because it's classified into two and she needs it. You know, she
Yeah.
obviously needs it. So she should have the special right to grow or have someone grow for her as much as she ever
Yeah.
would want.
It takes vulnerability, though, on both sides. Like, I have to be vulnerable enough to say everything that's wrong with me and all of my weaknesses
Mhm.
and the ways that I literally have no control of my body.
Totally.
And then the people writing these laws have to have faith and that I'm going to do it as I say I'm going to do it once I get what I want.
Yeah.
You know, so it's vulnerable for everybody.
Well, we
And
have.
I think that's why it's so hard for anybody to come to a consensus.
Totally.
You know?
I think there's room for both though. That's where I think like the preservation
Totally,
of
yes.
a medical system and just like go do what you want system. You
Yeah,
know what
like
mean?
I think this in-state, out-of-state card, like if you're planning on being like a here 6 months out of the year, I think you should be able to find like somebody local to contribute to because you're here
Mm-hmm.
more than half the year. But if you're here for on vacation, then why can't we send you to the dispensary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. A tourist and a dispensary kind of go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like Aloha Green's right by the airport.
Yeah. It's in Ko'olina now.
I think
Exactly.
there's one in Waikiki too.
Yeah.
And there's Noah. So everywhere you go, it's fully accessible.
That's
So
where I used to buy weed in that parking lot before it was.
and that's where the cops rolled on me.
That's funny.
That's where the cops rolled up on me when I was selling weed when I was 18
That's
in that
funny.
same fucking parking
Yeah.
lot. You know when
That's
Tomorrow's
so
was there.
funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
You
Like,
just roll through for nostalgia's sake, like, oh.
I look at it, I'm like, motherfucker. And then I'm
The-
still like, I could still get some pizza though.
yeah, I go to
You know?
Boston's and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck
You
this.
stole the spot, but the pizza's still there.
Yeah, their shrimp pizza or shrimp. Why did I say shrimp? Spinach,
Mhm.
spinach and garlic from there.
Yeah,
It's really good.
that was a little honey hole back in the day, right? It's like,
I mean, it's still there. It's,
like now there's some pizza spots. You went to the one in by Red Lobster by the Ilikai. It's a Brazilian pizza spot. Oh my
Okay.
god,
What the fuck is a Brazilian pizza?
The sausage is Brazilian.
Mm.
The cheese that they use, bro, and the dough.
You like Brazilian sausage, dude?
I guess I do now. This shit's
All right,
fucking
cool.
fire.
Poha, all right. Let's
Open
go.
to new
Poha.
experiences.
Yeah.
JJ Dolan's.
JJ
is
Dolan's
JJ
pretty good.
What
yeah.
is JJ Dolan's? A pizza place?
Yep.
That one's ranked super high. Never went there yet, but I heard it's
So
fucking
good.
bomb.
Well, you gotta try that and then
Yeah.
see how you feel about the
Is
spot
there
you
a-
just talked about.
A off-brand pizza spot you know of?
Good.
No, I don't eat out a lot because my kids are so goddamn picky, to be honest. I really like the shrimp tacos from a place I can't think of the name of right now.
Waikele?
No,
Is
it's
it out in Waianae?
over in Mililani by Ross.
Oh shit.
Oh,
They used to be like in the food truck
Taco Bell?
outside, and
Yeah,
now they're
yeah, yeah,
behind.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, high sliders.
High sliders, yeah.
Yeah.
I love those. Right before my husband
Shout out
left,
High
that's what we went
Sliders.
for.
They're in
Those-
Paradise Ciders now. Yeah.
They're
Oh,
so
no shit.
good.
They're
the
like
black and
that's
shrimp
where you get
tacos.
food from for Paradise Ciders over there.
Oh.
It's cool. It's a good vibe in there. It's nice.
I go to Waikele for tacos in El Haciense.
Okay.
That place is fucking
Their
good.
pity is good over there.
Yeah, dude. There's the regular, they do carne and then do El Pastor.
Okay.
Oh, the El Pastor is the shit. And it's like $2 Taco Tuesdays.
Okay.
I mean, rolling 12 deep in the parking lot, just sweating after I'm done. You know?
Mhm.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm.
The meat sweats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Must be.
Meat sweats and a Taco Tuesday.
Yum.
Leg shaker.
Right.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, I
so
don't know. I wish my kids ate more food. They're picky though.
Mm.
It's hard.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah, which I get. It's part of like the sensory issues.
Mhm.
You know.
It makes it. It does in a way. Does it make it easier though?
No.
Why? Because you just can't make them the same shit every night and like make
It's
you.
so
and-
old, especially with my husband gone. It's like, what am I gonna do? Make a nice dinner for myself and then try and eat it all within the next 3 days? If I made too much,
Right.
because all they're gonna eat is what they are always gonna eat.
Mhm.
You know.
Right.
So it gets a little old. I want them to try new things, just because like I do
Yeah.
think they need to try new things, but
Totally.
it's hard.
Plus, like, variety in diet, too, right?
Oh, I keep telling my kid that so much.
No, yeah, they
Like-
gotta like eat. Yeah, totally. But there's a part of me that hears that and is like, oh, that'd be kind of nice if my kids would just decide they wanted to eat mac and cheese and broccoli every night and be like, bet.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta do. Make you guys every night easy.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it does sound horrible when you hear me say it out loud, but like,
Might as well eat animals.
Mm-hmm.
well, whatever. Maybe they
Canned
want.
Vienna
What if they want
sausage.
chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and fucking that? And I can just, you know what I mean? Buy it
Yeah.
in bulk and just like, dude.
If you rotated certain things the right way, you could do it. There's actually this lady I found on Instagram who deals with kids and picky eating. And she has this like meal plan where you fill it out with all the things that you kind of like to cook. And if you follow her little system, it's a 12-week pattern. So you literally make the same things every 12 weeks, kind of. But the
But you
longer-
rotate it.
Yeah, but you rotate it like a kitchen in a school.
Mm.
So like it's 2 months before you have that stew again, but you know what you're gonna have.
Right.
So it adds that sort of like
Yeah.
expect like that, or what's that word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Expectation,
Yeah, or like, you know,
consistency. Maybe?
consistency, the regularity of like, you know what I mean? It still has that, but it's just at a longer gate.
And it's
Still
a good way to
feels like a
track what you're
variety.
getting into your system, right? Like getting in
Yeah, but
diet
there's still a part of me that would be like, oh, that's so nice. I mean, it would suck if like, say they only wanted to eat hot dogs and like, or like shitty food, but what if
yeah.
like you just caught a break and they were like, the stuff they wanted to eat over and over was one, easy to make and still relatively healthy.
I have a mixture.
Relatively.
I feel like I have a mixture. Like, big guy loves apples. I could not keep apples in the house to save my
killer.
life. But he also loves McDonald's nuggets.
All
Like-
kids do though.
You impale
Oh.
the nuggets with the,
All kids
the
do, that's
apple
normal.
slices. I'm like, yeah, buddy, here you go.
You gotta barter, yeah, like I'll give you one if you eat like 3 of these.
I cannot do that, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I
See, and I
cannot.
can't do that either, but that's directly related to his ADHD.
Mm.
A lot of the sensory stuff people have with food, which is silly, but that's why I think it's important to know if you're ADHD as an adult, can really impact your diet, like the textures you like or don't like, and finding ways to cope with it is really interesting. Like, there's 12 steps to liking a new food, or just like 12 steps before you put the food in your mouth. It's like seeing it, tolerating it on your plate or in your space, smelling it, like feeling the temperature, the soft, the hardness. It's really
Interesting.
yeah. And a lot of kids with ADHD, autism, have those like sensory problems. So maybe they're getting all the smell before they even get that it's cold. So like imagine like a banana ice cream with a shitty banana smell that tastes fine and you're going to like it. But if all you can smell is the banana, you're not going to want it.
Right, you caught that one first, so it already ruined the experience.
That reminds me of the time I ate salit. My dad got it for me.
I think you're saying it wrong. What's it called?
Salit?
Oh.
Salit? Right?
I don't know.
You're an asshole. Well, anywho, you know what salit is, right?
Nope.
It's the fucking fried intestines, the lower intestines of the pig.
Glad
And
you told us because I did not know.
He told me, it was like, oh, that's Filipino French fries. I'm like, all right, rad. I mean, I'm gonna trust my dad, right? So like, ate it. Everything was good up until the point where like that smell hit me. Once the smell of the contents that was in the intestine hit me,
Yeah.
holy
Why,
shit!
never wash them out first before they serve
They
them.
never, dude.
What,
That was
you
part of
just-
the seasoning.
It's gross.
That shit made me fucking lose
Oh.
all want for that
The
forever.
fuck?
Yeah.
Like I don't want that ever.
Yeah.
Forever. No.
So one of my kids, he has ARFID. I don't know if you've heard of that, but it's like avoidant restricted food intake disorder. So when he gets that smell, it's a step farther and his body goes, oh my God, I'm getting attacked.
Oh, yeah?
And it's literally like it throws him fight or flight.
Dude, my one son, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but you know who you are. He literally will vomit when you try to
Yeah.
make him eat vegetables.
Yeah.
And it's like we sit there, we're like, bro, seriously? But it's like, I know he's not faking it, and sometimes I think like it's gotta just be in your head. Like if you just get past whatever it is, but we don't even know.
Some
What
of
it
it's
is.
probably mental, but other parts of it could just be like a physical, my body's not ready for this yet, you know?
Like he physically cannot swallow it, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he's vomited all over the table
I
off
can
of
relate, I can
a tiny
relate.
little piece of broccoli or a carrot.
A piece of corn is what got my kid last time.
Oh my god, yeah, same.
Yeah.
And then they,
Yeah.
but then at times they'll tell you, I love corn. I eat all my vegetables at school. It's like, what the fuck? Run
Yeah.
that back when we serve you this broccoli tonight.
Right.
You're not cooking it good like the lunch lady, daddy.
I don't know what it is. Ours has a lot of butter.
Auntie
might
Lonnie
be
know how
it.
for cook her
No, but
corn.
yeah, my one is just like, but yeah, we do like, we buy the cauliflower nuggets.
Yeah.
Trick them.
That's pretty fucking good. I've eaten that. That shit's
We
fire.
do like the other kind, like, you know, what is it?
Zinguini.
Zinguini. Zucchini
Yeah.
pasta.
Yeah.
Pasta. Like that kind of stuff. Trick them.
Yeah. There's ways.
Zinguini.
I was thinking linguine and zucchini at the same time.
Right.
Anyway.
I love it.
Oh, hey, anybody want to see what questions we have? I'm going to scroll.
There's no questions.
Yeah.
I went up and I read them as we're going. I'm good on that, dude.
All right. Cool. Cool beans. What time is it? How long have we been going?
I'm like,
Yeah, 145.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
pace.
Wrap it up then. Is there anything you want to promote or plug or like any message you want to send
I don't know.
to the people listening about, I don't know.
About a message as a cannabis using mom. For other moms out there that, because the thing I see a lot is they try to encourage other moms that are trying to, like, do it in the struggles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to make them know that they're not alone. Did you have, like, a message for those people? Especially people that use cannabis, too, like, in that way, that are just kind of scared to come out and talk about it, you know?
Because like
Yeah.
you're like a
That feel
pioneer.
judged.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
people are scared being moms because the children.
They don't wanna be
CPS,
judged.
They
Yeah.
want to be judged, put in a category like you said.
Yeah.
Like, so you're a fucking pioneer. So.
That's why I say I'm thankful for my privilege, honestly,
Yeah.
earlier, because I feel like I do have some protections. Like, thank you and my husband for the VA loan because we were able to buy a house here, which most people can't do, and I recognize that, you know.
Right.
Having the house helps me with so much, and it's like there's small things, you know.
Mm.
lost my train of thought. You handed me this, and I'm like, ah.
Well, this
I
is.
needed a joint in your
We're gonna clip this up, so this is your chance to be that TikTok cannamom and talk about your message and be like,
I don't know. I think it all
sorry,
comes
no
down.
pressure.
I think it comes down to being nicer to yourself. I think that's a really big part of it. Because I feel like I haven't met a single person who has used cannabis and is a parent who hasn't used it to be nicer to themselves, even if they don't realize it. Whether it's giving themselves a break from a job they hate and they haven't figured out the way out and they don't want to take it out on their kids, they're using it to be nicer to themselves. Physically, because they're reducing that stress, that fight or flight, oh my God, what am I going to do? So maybe just like, if you're using cannabis and you're a parent, recognize like it's okay. Like so many people fucking do it, but don't say anything. Yeah. So many. And I think that's so underestimated. Majorly underestimated.
Nicely said.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Cut it up.
When you're talking about just hating your job and trying to just so you're nicer to your kids, like I was like, have we met before? Like, dude.
I found because I'm willing to be vulnerable, like I recognized that I do have X, Y, and Z going for me, and I've had the time to look into all of these things.
You've been reflecting a lot, you know.
Yeah, that's all I had time to do. I've learned that it's okay to be vulnerable with people, and my whole life people have seemingly told me more than I feel like they should have. And it's come to a lot of good conversations and a lot of good perspectives, and it's made me realize that everybody almost has the same exact struggle.
Right.
We just don't recognize it because we're usually too lost in our own shit.
Right.
Nice. Well, thank you again for coming on and
Yeah.
being so brave.
Yeah. If you have more questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, that was awesome. There's a lot of people, like how Mike was saying, that are just sitting at home and, you know,
Yeah.
I want to feel normal, but I can't because there's restrictions on me, you know, and like as a mom, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You know, I have these kids, but this plant's helping me
Yeah.
take care of these kids, but I'm afraid to step out the door.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully you are setting this beautiful template of like how you're gonna be as a mom. You know, you have, you know, 2 special needs kids that need your care that you're providing, you know, and
Yeah.
awesome for, and you're doing all of this thing while being a cannabis patient. But you know, people, it's like total opposite of what the stigma is.
Yeah.
It'll make you lazy. No.
Yeah.
You are using it to be the proper caregiver for your children, your husband, and your whole household.
Yeah.
You know, and to remain the glue. So,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hats off to you. Awesome.
Thank
That was nicely put too, dude.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Fuck, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and let you guys do the rest of the show. I'm out, man. I don't want to mess that up. That was beautiful, you guys. That was awesome.
Hell yeah. Upside down. Sorry, hemp care.
No, yeah, we know.
Eric got me on
Watch
fucking
the
purgatory.
YouTube. Turn into
Yeah.
YouTube, and then you can find out why Kalei is upside down. It's a riot.
Yeah.
It's one hell of a story. But yeah, shout out to our sponsors. Sorry, you gotta
Do it.
sit through
Do
this
it.
part. I feel like apologizing to our guests when
Yeah,
we gotta
you
do this part
shouldn't.
now. I don't know. It just feels like weird. Like if you're sitting there being like, "Oh, what are they doing?" It's strange.
Why would they think that though? You think they don't listen before they come chill? Interesting. Have you asked?
I honestly don't, and I listen to like very like sparse because I hate the way I sound for one,
Yeah.
but I listen to like sparse like clips of our podcast.
Yeah, but when you think you invite someone on, you to think they don't listen.
I don't.
I would hope
ask.
they would. I don't want to
Yeah.
ask because I don't want to make them feel bad if the answer is no.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
I
I
just
never
have zero
do ask.
expectations. I was like,
Okay.
okay, they're cool, they're coming on, but like, they're coming on with a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always hope, like, I would hope they've at least watched a couple episodes or at least fast forwarded through some just to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if they made it to the end with this weird part. Well, let's do this. Shout out to Mills Nutrients. Mills pays the bills. Check them out, millsnutrients.com, and also at the Guru's Grow Supply.
Yes, sir. Hit me up. We can ship. We can drop off. We got deliveries. We got everything you need. Site's fucking almost done. I didn't really realize how hard it is to build a website. Oh my God. So shout out to all the guys out there building websites. You guys are awesome.
And then Pakalolo Farmers. Shout out to Kaika and Farron for making the best shirts.
And being awesome people.
And
Oh, yeah,
hats
totally.
and socks.
Yes.
Oh, we've
Socks.
got socks.
Best apparel ever with the even better message. So hit them up, pakalolofarmers.com, IG Pakalolo Farmers.
Yep. And Meat Lux for all your Wagyu. It always lands on me for doing the meat one.
Wagyu. Yeah,
Every time.
I set it up
funny.
like that.
Yeah, every time. The meat. Get your meat.
It's almost
from-
like they're telling you as punishment that you have to do it.
Maybe it is. It's karma. It's cool.
Because he's upside down.
Yeah.
And he's vegetarian too.
I know,
so-
that's why it's
Oh yeah,
funny.
there you go.
Eat an
She
animal.
watches, dude.
That's so
I
awesome.
gotta do dishes
right?
sometimes.
cool. Cool.
Thank you for letting us aid you in washing dishes. And anyone out there, you know, one guy's like, oh yeah, I listen to you guys when I'm at work. So hell yeah, that's what we're here for.
Those are the times when I listen to podcasts when I'm folding laundry, when I'm doing dishes. Yep. Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Brutal Mars Arts for all your graphic design needs. Go check them out on Instagram. Brutal Mars Arts.
Brutal.
And Hybrid Collective in beautiful Kaimuki. Check them out.
Hybrid Collective. Sorry, Jay, we're going to transition to a new heady piece, but we just wanted to showcase Space Glass, our little
Oh, yeah,
baby
we
out
didn't
here.
fucking say anything about that.
It's
We're-
okay,
talk
dude.
about
It's
that.
fine.
Damn,
I just
dude.
wanted to shout out to Space Glass for, I waited a while for it, but it was worth the wait. And thank you for this heady piece, man. And I'm going to treasure it forever. So thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want beautiful pieces, not this one because this is a one of one. You can't get this one, sorry. But if you want beautiful pieces like this, go hit up Hybrid Collective.
I feel so like blessed, but we know so much like really good glass blowers, you know, like from Joel being on here to Mike being on here, you know, like we know quite a bit of good glass blowers, and man, I'm blessed for that. That's awesome.
It's cool, man. Artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Weed Maps.
Shout out to Weed Maps, man. Thank you for all the swag, and we'll get at you guys pretty soon.
Or get at us soon. We're open. Our DMs are open.
Wide open.
Yeah. Cool. Well, what you guys? Anything you guys want to plug back there?
Nope.
I guess nope. Nah. Turtle Doves Instagram. All the E's are 3s.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
Cuckoo. Got you.
Zaza.
And Bud Naked for macro photography, photography, videography.
Scientology. Oceanology.
Microbiology.
Kinesiology, cosmetology. Did somebody say that one?
Bodies in Wonderland.
There you go. All right. Is that everybody? That is, right?
I think so, bro.
Is that everybody?
I don't know. I'm hoping you have a list over here somewhere.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, yeah. Thank you again for joining us, and
Yeah.
we really appreciate
Glad I
you.
made it.
Right on. Cool. Thank you guys back there. You guys are awesome.
Hey, you're welcome, buddy.
Yeah. You too. Hey, guy.
I just don't care. High five.
Bye.